Hey guys, so we have the server maintenance announcement for Dokkan, Global Dokkan here. Servers closed from 16 to 2350 on the 16th of August, which is Monday. This video should be going live on the 12th, I think, of August. I'm going to be away, so this is going to be scheduled ahead of time, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of this update coming out. And what this is going to be is there's a separate post in the news about update 4.18.2 coming. This is obviously for this, right? So in terms of what's actually coming out, we have finally the same name update. Now this is obviously the biggest thing that's coming. Well, this and one other thing are pretty big. So in case you guys do not know what this is, we don't follow the JP version of the game, up until this point you were unable to add characters that have the same name to the same team. So Super Saiyan Goku, these are all, you know, these three are Super Saiyan Gokus, we have Super Saiyan Vegetas down here. Typically you would not be able to put multiple Super Saiyan Gokus in the same team, but now you can. Keep in mind, the only thing that you have to keep in mind about this is the fact that they will not link up with each other. So you can't have, like, you know, a rotation of two different Super Saiyan Gokus and have them, like, activate their full links or something like that. You can't do that. They're going to actually end up sharing 0 links. But it's still useful to be able to build a team that has multiple same name characters in the team, because how many Super Saiyan Gokus do we have? How many Super Saiyan Vegetas do we have? Like, it's a good update. It just makes team building easier, and I think they realize as we're moving into like the 7th year of the game being out, they need to reevaluate the, I guess, fundamental aspects of, you know, how the game is designed, and I think this is a good change. So that's one thing coming. Then we have these super attack types. We have unarmed, physical, and other. Kind of interesting. I mean, the physical one is literally just weapon. Like the way that I translated this from the Japanese one is this is key based. That's fine. We have other. Then this one is weapon based. I don't know why they called it physical. Physical sounds a little bit strange. I just prefer to call this weapon. I mean, the icon is a weapon, so it's kind of intuitive from the icon. But this is like, you know, Janemba's sword, Trunks' sword, stuff like that. You know, Yamcha uses a gun to attack. Bulma uses a rocket launcher. Like, those kinds of attacks will go into the physical category. But I like to think of it as just weapon-based. Then we have unarmed, which to me is just melee-based, right? You know, you have Dragon Fist would be melee-based. Like, every attack that's just like a flurry of punches and kicks is a melee-based attack, but they call it unarmed here. So previously to this update, we only had Ki Blast, and that was it. Now we're getting sort of these other 3 designations as well. And what we've seen on JP is we have a Gogeta who has a mechanic that is able to nullify unarmed attacks. So, like, obviously that's based on Janemba, right? So Janemba punched him in the face, he takes no damage, that's why that's a thing. And then, you know, we've had the Ki based super attack interaction with Super 17 in his Dokkan event, but in terms of like usable units having those functions, we never had those before. So we have a Janemba on JP who has a chance to nullify Ki-based super attacks. So it'll be interesting to see how they implement this in the future. I assume the reason why Global's getting this, you know, honestly pretty early. This is not something I expected Global to get so early, but it's pretty apparent to me that, you know, with the worldwide celebration coming up later this month, more often, I mean, the odds are pretty high that in some way, shape, or form, the worldwide celebration main Dokkan Festival units will interact with the different types of super attack classifications in some way. So that's probably why we're getting this so early. And that's pretty much it. There's a way you can skip active skill animations if you guys care about that. I mean, some of them I could understand, like Tech Ultimate Gohan's active skills, like an entire episode of the anime. So I'll definitely be trying to skip that. It's like a weird way that they do this. You have to like go into the menu settings and like skip it or something. It's very strange. But those are basically the 3 big changes coming out here. But I think obviously the biggest one to talk about is definitely the same name update here. So what I've done is I've pulled up a bunch of different tabs for different characters, and we're going to go through pretty much the big winners of the same name update here, and what I think, you know, which characters are going to come out as, you know, the big winners of this update here. So I want to start with the Gifted Warrior team in general. So this is the only team I've pulled up here. Everything else is just characters. But this is actually a category that released on JP alongside pretty much the same name update. and for good reason. So Trunks and Goten is the leader of the team. They came out with a Tech Krillin, and the team is really, really focused around running like a full Trunks and Goten setup. Now, Videl came out after these guys did on JP. Well, not directly after, but soon after them on JP. And now we have Videl on Global as well. And Videl came out with this Goten. So if you take a look at the actual like units you would like to use on this Trunks and Goten Dokkan Fest team, you have themselves. You have Tech Krillin, and then you have this Super Saiyan Goten here. You have the EZA Super Saiyan Goten, and then you have the Int Super Saiyan Goten over here. Prior to this Tech one coming out, the Int Super Saiyan Goten, so this one over here, actually was the best friend of the Dokkan Fest physical Trunks and Goten, but there was no way you were going to run this unit over this unit, sorry. This unit is just too good. So the reason why this same name update is so important for the Gifted Warrior team is because now you can run all 3 Gotens together. Like, look how insane this Goten is. 150% attack and defense, an additional 10% with each attack performed, up to 50%, and then he's a Gifted Warriors category support unit. You're obviously going to run this character on the Gifted Warrior team. I would actually argue, this might sound a little bit crazy, but I would actually argue that if you had to choose between this Tech Goten and this AGL Goten to be running on the Gifted Warrior team, I would actually still probably say this Goten might be a little bit better. His output is insane. He does still support a little bit. His defense is crazy. But it's close. I mean, there's merits to running both. But now you don't have to sit there and choose between one or the other. You can just run both. And you can throw this guy on the team as well. So you can have 3 different Gotens on this team to use alongside the physical Dokkan Fest Trunks and Gotens. That's a big win for this team, I think. Next, we just have pretty much just every single Goku that ever existed. I mean, we can go through every single form here and like legitimately point out different units that could come out for each thing. Like, keep in mind, this same name update is not specifically just for existing teams and existing characters. This is going to affect everything coming out in the future, right? There's so many types and iterations of Goku that we do not yet have in this game. Like, we have this Namek Goku over here, right? This base form transforming Namek Goku, the Dokkan Fest one. We have 1000 Day Goku. We have this Int Goku. Like, there's a bunch of different viable base form Gokus in the game, but I still wouldn't say that we have like a dominating base form Goku. Like, we could easily get a redo of this guy. We could do a transforming base form Goku into like UI Goku. Like, there's so many different Gokus. It's literally the possibilities are limitless. And I think if you think about the original thought process behind why they decided to originally introduce the transformation mechanic into Dokkan, I think a lot of the reasoning probably is behind the fact that you could not run characters that have the same name on the same team, and that was their way around that. It's a perfect example, right? I mean, we have the LR Int Gohan, right? And LR Int Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. They released another LR Gohan, but they didn't just go Super Saiyan 2 right away. He started out as a Super Saiyan. And crazy to think about this, but he actually does transform on occasion into Super Saiyan 2. The reason why they made him a Super Saiyan is so that you could actually run them both together on the same team. But I think now, with the same name update coming out, they sort of can dial back on making so many transformation characters. And actually, that's something that we've seen a decent bit of this year. Like, we got a new legendary Super Saiyan Broly standalone character. We got, a Kid Gohan that doesn't transform. Like, a lot of these characters we got this year on JP don't transform at all. Videl obviously doesn't transform. We obviously don't have the Dokkan Fest Goten and Trunks are not transforming. So I think they can be more comfortable now releasing characters that are not active skill or traditional transformation mechanic units. But there's so many different Gokus we can get. Like, I can go through this entire list, right? I mean, Kaioken Goku, we could obviously get a Dokkan Fest exclusive Kaioken Goku from the Saiyan Saga. We can get one from the Namek Saga. Super Saiyan Goku is probably one of the bigger ones, obviously, right? I would even argue right now there's different options you can use for this guy. Obviously, Spirit Bones from Goku is really good. We could get a standalone Namek Super Saiyan Goku Dokkan Fest LR. We could get a cooler movie Super Saiyan Goku. We have LR Goku as his EZA, he's pretty good. Like, there's so many different options for this Super Saiyan Goku slot that I think this is one of the bigger winners of the update as well. Pretty much every single form of Goku, right? Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan God. A lot of people are speculating that we could be getting a Battle of Gods theme for the worldwide celebration this year. We already have an Int LR God Goku, but if they want to go ahead and do another God Goku, they could do that. He could have the revival mechanic. Like, there's so many different things they could do, and then you have to worry about him like hard replacing this Int God Goku because you could just run them both together. Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Obviously, we need like a Dokkan Fest one from the Resurrection F movie. We have a pretty good one, right? This guy after ZZA is really good. This Blue Goku, but you know, you don't have to worry about him being replaced anymore. UI Sign Goku, probably one of the biggest winners of this update, right? All three of these UI Sign Goku units are insanely powerful, right? The LR obviously is good. This guy just got his EZA in the 6th year anniversary, and so did this guy. So it's feasible to run a team, a Universe 7 team, Reps Universe 7, or a Universe Battle Saga team that includes all three of these UI Sign Goku characters together. And that's actually a good team to run. So the fact that, you know, they presented us with the EZAs for this guy, and then we already had this LR during the anniversary, kind of was like, all right, well, how do we, you know, which one do I want to use? But you don't have to sit there and choose anymore. You can run them all together if you want to. GT Goku, I mean, none of these are really that great, but we could definitely get like a transforming base form GT Goku into Super Saiyan 4. Same thing with Super Saiyan Goku from GT. We can get one to transform into Super Saiyan 3, then Super Saiyan 4, but we already have a really good one, right? So you don't have to worry about him getting replaced. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, obviously, this is a big one as well. The LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I would say, does not match the output of what this guy can do, the EZA for the TUR. And it's like, it feels bad to summon a summonable LR, and then him not being as good as like a 5-year-old unit that has his EZA, but now you can just run them both together, so that's fine. But yeah, a lot of these Goku characters, I mean, even Goku and Piccolo, we only have one of them in the game right now, but we're missing the one from the Raditz fight, which we'll eventually get, so you don't have to worry about him getting replaced. All these Vegito characters, fusions, like all these guys will eventually probably get multiple iterations of their same name characters, and you won't have to worry about them getting replaced anymore. So that's sort of how this update's going to work, and why I think definitely like all of the popular characters that have like tons of forms, I think are going to be the winners of this update, like Vegeta as well. A base form Vegeta, we definitely are going to get like 100,000 million more of these. Giant Ape Vegeta, obviously Super Saiyan Vegeta. I mean, there's a million Super Saiyan Vegetas, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, Super Vegeta. We got one on JP. This guy will get his EZA. Something else that this update does help with as well is it forces EZAs of old versions of these characters to be different and like still good. Because like this Super Vegeta comes out on JP, he's like absurdly busted, right? This STR Super Vegeta. This Super Vegeta over here doesn't have his EZA yet. So it's like, there's no chance in hell that this guy will ever surpass this Vegeta, ever. Like, there's just no chance. But he could still be used together with this Vegeta on the same team, even though this guy's not going to be as good as the STR one. As long as they make him somewhat viable, right? So that's really going to help out these EZAs as well. I think that just never really had a chance of being usable. And we'll see that later on with other units too. But Majin Vegeta, we have the LR that got his EZA. We have this STR one is really good as well. This free-to-play Battlefield one is still good. Blue Vegeta is a big one. Evolution Blue Vegeta. We're probably going to get multiple more versions of Evolution Blue Vegeta transforming. GT Vegeta. So yeah, I think this Baby Vegeta, like obviously these are not very good, but we're going to get multiple more Baby Vegetas at some point. Super Saiyan 4, we already talked about that for Goku. And it's pretty much just the same thing, right? With Vegeta as Goku, it's just self-explanatory. Piccolo's a big one. Pretty much if you look at the entire Namekian team over here, this is the only other team I have on here. It's like 2/3 Piccolo, right? The leader of the team is Piccolo. So you have to run a Piccolo if you want to run this team. You have LR Piccolo, who's probably going to get his EZA at some point, like soon, I think. We have the free-to-play EZA Piccolo. We have the STR Piccolo. We have the Universe 6 Tournament Int Piccolo. We have this EZA physical Piccolo, and it's like that's the team, right? You just run a bunch of Piccolos together and that's your team. Prior to this update, you had to run like, you know, free-to-play Slug and stuff like that on your team to like fill this out. But you don't need to do that anymore. You can just throw a bunch of Piccolos together, and obviously that's going to help the team out a lot because it gives you more options. Broly is another huge one. I mean, we're eventually going to get a base form Broly from both movies, right? The OG Broly, as well as the Dragon Ball Super Broly that go through all their forms and transform, right? That's going to happen at some point. We're going to have both in the game, and you won't, at that point, you won't have to choose between one or the other to include in your team, because what they've done is they've pretty much just lumped both Brolys together on the same name, which I don't think is a smart idea, because to me they're not the same character, right? This character is not the same as this. Come on, like this guy is not this guy. Are we serious? Like the same name? I mean, I get why it's the same name, but they could have at least done like a little bit of a differentiation in his name. Like I know Heroes puts a little bit of like they do like a :BR for like Broly movie or Dragon Ball Super Broly. Something just to differentiate the two Brolys from each other, because they're really not the same character. But that will be base form Broly. This really helps Super Saiyan Broly a lot, because now that we have the Int Broly, the Int Legendary Super Saiyan Broly out, he's like the movie boss / planetary destruction leader. You want to run him alongside a Super Saiyan Broly, right? But if you didn't have this guy, you'd be forced to run this guy. If you have both, I mean, you could do like a rotation of the Int one and this Tech Broly, and you could do one of the Int Broly and this Physical Broly, and that would work pretty well. But the one thing I do want to say is on this Physical Broly's team, right, you could never use this Tech LR Broly, because he had the same name as this Broly. Well, now that you can not worry about that anymore, because this guy's now going to be able to fit on his team, which is a pretty big deal. Obviously, this is probably the biggest one on this page here. The Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. We had this guy come out with the EZA for the STR Broly. And it's pretty funny on Global, because Global got this at the same time as JP did, and it's like, okay, what the hell? Well, I'm never using this guy if I have the STR Broly, because the STR Broly is just like way better. But now you can actually run them both together. They don't link up, but you can still put them on the same team. So I think that's a big point to make here as well. I mean, this guy's not too terrible. He's okay in longer events, so there's that. And that's pretty much it for Broly. Frieza, I think, has a few cases here. We have the Prime Battle First Form Frieza, as well as the Transforming Frieza. I mean, this guy's eventually going to get his EZA here, but I just recorded a Bojack showcase where this guy was putting up like over 3.5 million attack stats in Super Battle Road. So he's still really good. He can look pretty good in the right situation. He heals up. His links are good. So he has merit to be ran on teams, but he's not like in the same realm as this Prime Battle Frieza EZA at this point. So this guy is going to get hard replaced by Prime Battle Frieza, but now with same name updates, you can run them both together. I think we could eventually get a standalone, like, good second form Frieza. We already have a pretty decent free-to-play version of him. I think this guy's still really, really good, actually. His links are really good. He's good in the World Tournament, stuff like that. I think, we'll eventually probably get standalone versions of both second and third form Frieza. Maybe a third form that transforms into final form, or a second form that transforms into third, that then goes like once more into final form as well. So that will not have to worry about that anymore. Final form Frieza, I mean, at some point Dokkan will stop dicking around and finally give us like a transforming final form Frieza into full power Frieza. We have some okay versions here. I mean, we have this AoE one, we have this STR one. Remember when this STR one came out and this AoE AGL one came out, and people were like, well, it's good that they made him AoE and this one is single target, and you can use both for either scenario, but now you can run them both together if you want to. This one is more of a support unit, good tank, depending on the enemies you're fighting. If you're fighting against a Goku family enemy, he's going to be really good. Angel, I mean, if they're going to EZA like this guy at some point, I mean, probably a long way away, but we can get like a Angel Frieza from the filler arc in DBZ, and then we can run him alongside this guy, the physical Frieza from the Tournament of Power saga, or the Universe Survival saga, I should say. GG doesn't matter. Full power, I mean, we're for sure going to get more full power Friezas, right? This can't be the only full power Frieza that's going to be usable. This guy is actually still decent, actually. People, I think, pretty much still to this day somehow underestimate this guy, but he's decent. Golden Frieza is a big one. We have Tech, we have AGL, and we're eventually going to get Resurrection F, like Dokkan Fest Golden Frieza. We have no LR Golden Frieza. We have no Dokkan Fest Golden Frieza. Oh, we actually do it. This is the Tech one, but he's old. But we need a like an LR Golden Frieza or an LR Final Form Frieza, right? How do we not have an LR Final Form Frieza? Like the most iconic. I would actually argue that Final Form Frieza is like the most iconic form of any villain in the series, and we don't have an LR of that. Okay. Angel Golden Frieza, probably gonna still get some more of these in the future. And I think we're probably going to get more of these in the future too, but we'll see. Cell, I mean, probably less so than Frieza, but we're definitely going to get, like, we just got the second form Cell. I assume we're eventually going to get a second form Cell that transforms into Cell Perfect form. Perfect Cell, we already have the STR1 and the Tech 1, who are still somewhat decent. We're definitely going to get more Perfect Cells. We're going to get more Perfect Form Cells, right? This guys can't just be the only Perfect Form Cell forever. And then we're going to probably get some first form cells. I imagine at some point we will get like the cell that goes through every single form, like from first to second to perfect form to perfect cell. Like we're definitely going to get that at some point as well. Majin Buu, we're already starting to see some overlap here as well. Super Buu specifically, we have the physical support Super Buu, and then we have the STR one. You kind of have to choose between those two. Buuhan, we have the EZA one, and then we're eventually definitely going to get like an LR Buuhan standalone. Or maybe just like a new Dokkan Fest Buuhan as well. Kid Buu is one that I think probably is the most important one on this list, because we have the physical Kid Buu, then we have the EZA for the int one. The meme is LR Kid Buu, which we're eventually going to get, and then you can just use them all together if you want to. Fat Buu, I guess. I mean, this guy's really good. We have the STR1 who's fallen off, obviously he's old at this point. But yeah, Buu has, I think the Kid Buu one is the biggest one, and then Buuhan maybe. Vegito is a pretty big one. I mean, there's like a million Vegito Blues. We have 3 viable Vegito Blues in this game. We have the Tech one, we have the STR1, and we have the physical one. I mean, this STR1 is eventually going to get an EZA. This Tech one is like next in line to get his EZA on JP alongside the STR Rose pretty much in terms of Dokkan Fest exclusive units. So it's insane to think about the day that this physical Vegito Blue gets replaced. Well, now it doesn't have to be replaced because you can short them both together. And then the same thing with this STR Vegito as well, Vegito Blue. This physical Super Vegito is eventually going to get a Zenkai, EZA. You could run him alongside the AGL1. We're definitely do you guys think they're ever going to release another Super Vegito? Let me know. Do you guys think so? We have this Tech base form Vegito, who is, I think he's due to get one like next. He might be one of the next secondary EZAs. Because he awakens with the Super Vegito medals, so whenever his EZA comes back, Super Vegito will be getting this guy's EZA. But it's like, this guy's competing with the same name as this guy, so it's like, this guy never had a chance to be good, except on the Majin Buu Saga team. But now you don't have to worry about that anymore, because you can use them both together. So that's pretty much everything for Vegito, I think. Yeah. Gogeta is a little bit less egregious, I think, than Vegito is. But at the very least, you can run like the Int and STR Super Gogetas together. You could do, you know, if they're ever going to do another base form Gogeta, you could do that. We're eventually, at some point, going to get a standalone Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. It's going to happen at some point here. And then obviously this guy's due for an EZA as well, right? I think it's going to go Tech Vegito and STR Rose, and then after that is going to be Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega, their EZAs together. So I mean, is this guy going to replace Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? We'll see, but don't have to worry about hard replacing him anymore. And then finally, I did want to mention Goku Black / Zamasu here. We have the AGL one here, the Int one. I think STR one is just never usable anyway. There's fringe cases, I would say, where you might want to include the Int one just for pure defensive utility, but AGL one's probably almost always better. We're probably going to get better Zamasus in the future. Zamasu's a pretty popular character. Base form Goku Black. I mean, we already have a situation right here, right? Physical versus Int. On global, the physical Goku Black's actually quite decent. The Int Goku Black is just like, this is a unit people have been asking for its EZA forever, which will obviously eventually happen. But we're probably going to get more versions of base form Goku Black. We're definitely going to get more versions of Goku Black Super Saiyan Rose. I mean, we already have 3 good ones, the LR, the STR1, and the AGL1. So when the STR1 gets his EZA, you can run him, you can run the AGL1 and the LR all together. And then obviously Fusion Zamasu, like, I don't know why they haven't given us an LR of Fusion Zamasu yet. It's kind of similar to Golden Frieza. We don't have an LR Golden Frieza, we don't have an LR Fusion Zamasu. Like, they just hate villains. Like, what are they doing? No LR Final Form Frieza, like no LR Kid Buu. Yeah, I think they just hate villains. I think is what it comes down to. But we're eventually going to get, you know, a standalone LR Fusion Zamasu, whether it's the corrupted version or just like the main non-corrupted version. And he'll link pretty well with you know, all these Rose's units over here. So when this STR Rose gets his EZA, you can run them. This guy, remember, is a Extreme Class Realm of Gods defense support unit. He gives, I think, 50% defense to Extreme Class Realm of Gods, yeah. So even though this guy doesn't link, or he wouldn't link with a hypothetical LR Fusion Zamasu, you could do like a slot 1 LR Fusion Zamasu, slot 2 EZA STR Rose, and then this guy could be in slot 3, linking up with Rose, and then providing the whole support, or the whole rotation with 50% defense. And then this guy, I think, is doing 60%. No, he's also doing 50%. And then depending on what he's going to get from his EZA in there, so that would be a pretty decent rotation as well. But that would not be possible if the same update was not out, because then you couldn't run these 2 Fusions of Monsters together. This one and the hypothetical LR, it's eventually going to come out in like 2030 or something. But there you go. These, I think, are the big winners for the same update. We have Goku Black, Gogeta, Vegito, Majin Buu, Cell, Frieza, Broly, Piccolo, who was probably, like, honestly, the biggest winner of this. Vegeta and Goku, and then the Gifted Warrior Goten setup here. So, reminder, maintenance is on the 16th of August. We have this update coming out. Same name update, different types of super attacks here. I will be away. I will be back on the 19th, so I will not be able to cover V-Jump Leagues or anything like that while I'm away. Maybe I'll do it on Twitter if I have time, but I definitely won't be able to make a video on it until I'm back. So I will see you guys all in a week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys all in the next one.